It's good morning, Emily Gardner. Thanks for joining us at Yellow Shelf.
Thanks so much, Joanna. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. Look, it is good evening for me, but you're based in the UK near London. So
Yes.
it's nice morning for you over there. Congratulations, your new book is coming out or is out today, and you can confirm that. The Path of the Guide. Congratulations. What do we need to know about your new book?
Yeah, thanks so much. So I think the most important thing to know about the book is that it's based on this premise that facilitation is for everyone. So it's about facilitation, but you'll notice that the word facilitation is not there in the main title. It's in the subtitle, but it's not there in the main title. And I think that's because often when we hear the word facilitation, we think, oh, that's somebody's job. But I'm a real advocate for thinking that facilitation is something that everybody needs and everyone should be using to get the most out of those interactions that we have day to day in our workplaces. We have so many moments where things can be more effective and more productive if we just learn to facilitate a little bit. And that's the whole premise of the book and really what it's all about. I think in 10 years, facilitation is going to be up there as one of the top skills that employers say that their employees should have. So this is really the main thing to know about it. It's based on that premise that facilitation is for everyone and it's so crucial.
So, Emily, tell me about you, tell me about your background, and tell me about what inspired you to write the book, because that's quite interesting. Tell us about that.
Sure. So let's go back to the very beginning then. So when I first entered the world of work, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I have a degree in English literature and then a degree in medical history. So what are you going to do with that? Don't know where that goes. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to join a graduate scheme and try and have a job where I do a bit of everything, and then miraculously I'll work out what it is I want to do. So I joined the workplace and realized pretty quickly that when you join that sort of environment, you naturally fall into that context, don't you? And I call that context now the PowerPoint way, which is that you join the workforce and you realize, oh, okay, someone talks in front of a load of slides and everyone else sort of listens and looks a bit bored. And then at the end, they ask any questions, and one person, usually the same person, asks questions.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, this is the context. I don't know how I fit in with this. And gradually over time, what I realized was that the people around me were looking for different ways to do things. You know, no one really liked this PowerPoint way, but everyone was going along with it anyway. And eventually, I wound up just by coincidence in the innovation department of the organization. Me and one other person, so a very small department. And we ended up running an innovation day for the whole company. It was a really transformative moment for me. And I thought, this is what people have been looking for. So I became that person, the one that was running the workshops, doing things differently internally. And I ended up being able to build a role and a career around doing that. So building myself up doing that in-house. And from there, I was able to go into global consultancy. I worked with a whole bunch of different clients over a period of time. And now here I am running my own facilitation business. But my observation looking back on that time was that I had absolutely no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
And that ability to go against the grain is something that feels like it comes with risks and stakes, especially when you feel like there's not much out there to help you to take that step forward. So, when I moved into consultancy, I started a new habit. And that habit was every time I ran a workshop or a session, which I was doing on a pretty much daily basis, I was writing down this is what worked well, this is what worked badly. And it was only a couple of years later when I looked back at this document and saw how long it is that I was like, wow, this is the seeds for a book. And I started going through it, bringing it together into a framework, the 7-step framework, which I use in the book. And as I did that, I realized that this book was actually something I'd written for my younger self. You know,
Yeah.
when I was in that in-house role and I didn't know what I was doing, I really wanted a guide and a framework to take me through how I could do this process. And I didn't see anything out there that was helping me do that. So really that's why I wrote the book.
Yeah.
And it connects so neatly to that
Yeah.
journey of sort of where I started and who I hope reads it, which is anybody that works in a corporate, I think can pick up the skills in this book and start to apply them in the day to day to make a difference within their organization and their career as well.
Yeah, so true. Emily, tell us about how we connect to you, to the book. I know you've got a website. Tell us about where we go to find some resources to connect.
Sure. So, as you mentioned, Joanna, the book is coming out today. You can find it on Amazon. It's called The Path of the Guide, a framework for effective corporate facilitation. The best place to find me is on LinkedIn. I love to make video content, so you'll find me there posting lots of tips and tricks about facilitation. If you go to Emily Gardner Facilitator on LinkedIn, you'll find me. And you can also go to my website, which is called emilyfacilitates.com.
Yeah, look, Emily, I'll put that in the show notes to make it really easy for anyone to connect and to get curious about the book. Congratulations. I know you've got a launch in London. I know you've got lots happening. So thank you for spending some time with us to share.
No problem. Thanks so much for having me.
Cheers.